and welcome to Sixth Scale Symposium, episode 21. Happy Memorial Day to all of you out there if you're in the U.S. Hope you had a great long holiday weekend, and I'm glad that you're coming on the show here to hang out with me and my panel to kind of wind down. We might have the Monday night blues because we got to go back to work tomorrow, but don't let that deter you from having a good time with us tonight. So, without further ado, let's roll that intro. Yes. Back for episode 21. I have a great panel on tonight. We're going to talk about a few figures announced, including the Star Wars Celebration figures. We'll touch upon some Marvel stuff like Scarlet Witch, Taskmaster. We want to talk about Obi Wan episode 1 and 2. Just fair warning, there might be some spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to duck out for that segment and then come right back. But you should have watched already if you're really that much into Star Wars. Would you guys agree with that?
Agreed.
100%.
I mean, I get life happens. But and then to finish off the night, we're going to play the new Hot Toys Keep, Trade, Sell strategy game. That was a lot of fun with Mario last week, so I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of fun this week as well. Before we get into the chat, though, let's start by introducing you guys to the panel tonight. In the upper right, we have Big Breda, all the way across the world in China. Joao, how are you doing this morning for you, sir?
Everything's fine. Happy Memorial Day for everyone that is in the US. And yeah, I'm happy to be here one more time. It's always a lot of fun. And
is this your final time?
No, once.
Good.
Okay, forget it. Let's have. I think we will have a fun show today.
And if you guys hear a little tapping on
my side,
Joao's door, somebody's just been knocking, and he's not going to let them interrupt the show, so they're going to keep knocking.
Ignoring.
They're actually doing like construction or something. Is that right? Right.
Yeah, they are renovating a balcony. My neighbors here. It's been for 2 months almost.
Jeez, that could drive a guy crazy. So
it's a heck of a balcony.
I don't know what they are doing there.
It's great to have you, Joao. And
thank you.
In the bottom left, we have KG Collector coming to us from the west side of the country. How you doing, sir?
Actually, I'm in the East Coast now.
What?
For now, I'm in the East Coast. I'm back here in my original collection. I had my original collection here. Just from East Coast, just traveling for a bit. I'm just glad to be here tonight talking about figures and Star Celebration for itself. So can't wait to get into that topics.
So are you from the East Coast and you moved out to the West Coast, or are you just
visiting?
I'm
just visiting just a family member right now.
Okay.
I'm originally from the West Coast.
Awesome. Well, thank you for making time to be on the show when you're visiting other people. I appreciate it.
Always.
And last but not least, we have the mad scientist himself. We have Desi from Metamorphic Customs. If you haven't checked out his new, is it CCFL light?
Yeah, cold cathode fluorescent light, I think.
I always forget if it's CFFL, but now that I say it, CCFL, it makes a lot more sense. So check that video out if you haven't already. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for being on the show once again.
I'm doing well, Graham. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to talking to figures, Kenobi, everything. I hope everyone's had a great Memorial Day weekend and just looking forward to the show.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Star Wars heavy. So I hope y'all love Star Wars out there. Let's just check in with the chat. We had Riley Reviews checking in. He is up. He is here again, but this was a little bit earlier. We have Carlito. Good evening, gentlemen. Good friend Jables. Howdy, y'all. He actually, I just saw as I was coming online here, he came out with a review on Grand Moff Tarkin figure. So
ooh, nice.
You guys haven't checked that out. Jables has a really good channel, has really good content, has Maju cases as well. I stole a couple ideas from him. Daniel, another hardcore Jedi Knights Watch fan. Hello, everyone. Hello, Daniel. Blackbird Tech. Hello, everyone. Universal Key in the house. We have Jake says, hello, everyone. Another good friend of the channel, Ty Uncommon Flex. Hey, fam. Happy Memorial Day. Yes. Let's see. Prime Time. My guy, Prime Time Reviews. What's up, my guys? I have to have him on the show in the next few weeks here. I found out that he is a cigar and whiskey lover like myself. So this summer, who knows? Maybe we'll do an outdoor live stream and have a couple stogies and talk figures. We'll see. Riley Reviews in the house says, what's up, guys? We have local Lou. What's up, Lou? What's poppin', people? Gotta have Lou on the show next as well. Let's see. Cam's Collection. Yo, what's good, fellas? What's up? Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it. Bobby Ray, what's up, y'all? And of course, single songwriter, hello, collectors from around the world. All right, guys, let's just jump right in. We're going to get the Marvel stuff out of the way, I think, first, because I don't want to say it's not as important, but it happened first. We had, I think it was last week, early or late last week, maybe. We had the Scarlet Witch drop from Multiverse of Madness. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I'm sure you guys have been on other channels, maybe talking about it already. But I do want to know what you think about the figure and if it's on your radar to pick up when it comes out. And we're just going to go down the list here and start with you, Joao. Thoughts on the figure, and are you going to pick it up?
I'm not going to pick it up, at least not pre-order. But the figure looks really good. I think this. And you can see that many people are canceling their pre-orders from the WandaVision to keep this one. The only thing that I'm a bit concerned, even I'm not picking up, is everyone was talking about the diorama that she comes together. That was amazing, but it's actually cardboard. I suppose the diorama was something special because I remember in Dentist Stream I was picking on the diorama. I was saying that it looks like from the Lego diorama, but it's actually cardboard, But I think the effects and the head sculpt looks very, very good. The deluxe version with this kind of diorama being a cardboard makes it look a bit cheaper, especially for the price that it goes. But yeah, I think if you are searching for a Scarlet Witch, maybe this is the one, since the other versions go for expensive prices on eBay.
It does look. It looks really good, and to tell you the truth, I've only glanced at it a few times, just because it's such a busy week with everything Star Wars. It was hard to keep up with everything. So, Desi, what are your thoughts? I always forget. I know you're big on Star Wars, but do you collect Marvel?
Not really. I started with DC, then Marvel, then ultimately Star Wars. But quick question here: the candle diorama, are the candles plastic? Like, I assume so.
I think it's all cardboard. Even
the candles,
but would they be flat?
Like, it looks 3D,
right?
It looks. Anyways, sorry, I was curious. But look, it's getting harder and harder to decide not to get Marvel figures for me because I try to focus on Star Wars because this looks amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like, the head sculpt, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 or maybe a 4 out of 5. It's pretty close. And just overall, the tailoring looks great. The effects are a little. I never like those lightning effects, but in this one, it looks great too. It's just an amazing figure, and they've got 2 different hair sculpts that you can choose between, I believe. So it's just a great package, a great hot toy figure offering. So it looks beautiful.
KG, are you going to get this figure?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this figure, but I'm not pre-ordering. I was not that interested in the WandaVision one just because I know there's gonna be another version coming out pretty soon, which is freaking. I prefer this look more than the WandaVision one. To be honest with you, I like battle damage. So when it comes to battle damage stuff, I mean, you could see her outfit's just completely there's some dense battle damage going on. And it's, to me personally, it's the true Wanda to have. I mean, if you know WandaVision, Scarlet Witch, the comics, this is how she is. I mean, the representation of the source material that they chose is amazing. WandaVision was a little, fun Wanda, nothing too crazy. For me, this is definitely a must. I'm a little surprised that the diorama is actually cardboard, which is I don't know how much you're paying $330 for it for a cardboard diorama.
Yeah.
I just.
But is it like the Jack Sparrow, like the DX6, where you have the ship flooring and it's supposed to look like wood, but it's like a thick cardboard. It's not like just a flimsy. So I wonder if it's like that, and then maybe the candles sit on top of it.
The candles, I think those are plastic. They look plastic to me. I don't think they're cardboard. I think the flooring is cardboard.
Right. I mean, so that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal, but for $330, I don't know. The thing is with Marvel now, they're going for undervalue. I mean, even the Battle Damage 85 is going for. You can find them for like 300.
Right.
And there's no need to pre-order. Let's just say that there's no need to pre-order this. There's no need to pre-order anything unless if it's an exclusive, which we'll get to that later on. This is I like the diorama piece. I just don't like the effects on the back. Not a huge fan of that. But ultimately, I will get this figure. It's just pre-ordering wise, it's not going to happen.
Right. Low key Loki asked if this is the same head sculpt as the WandaVision. I would assume so, but with a different paint application. Where this one they tried to make her look a little bit more evil with the makeup and whatnot. Would you guys agree that it's the same head sculpt, or did they come out? I can't see them doing a brand new head sculpt for this figure.
It's a new one. I compared
Is it?
It's new.
It
Yes.
looks different. It's very different.
Interesting.
It looks new. Like I just saw a very quick shot of it, but I didn't really stare at it. But I would agree with KG. It looked. I mean, if it's just a paint job, that's different. That's pretty good paint job.
Here's the thing. Look at this and compare it to the WandaVision. The WandaVision looks more happy compared to this one. She's much more angry,
Right.
Compared to the WandaVision one, which is it's a definitely totally new sculpt. And I do think you're getting two different hairstyles.
Yeah.
So
Two hair pieces.
yeah, if you look at the one, you see,
Yeah,
it's much more happy and little, has a little hope in it compared to the Doctor Strange version.
It looks a lot softer.
Yeah, you see,
for sure.
Bigger lips. Yeah.
bigger lips. Yep.
There's a sideshow website. Just now you were there. Do they mention anything about the material of the diorama?
I can check that out for you here quick if you guys want to keep talking.
Yeah. I think the WandaVision one is. Look, if you are planning to pick up two, which I think it's valid enough, I think they both look different in their own ways.
It's the first one, no?
That's WandaVision.
That's the WandaVision.
Yeah, the WandaVision.
Now it's down here.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think the Wanda from the Doctor Strange looks way better.
Yeah. Now that because I was like, well, I'm debating if I want to add Wanda to my Marvel scene here. I don't need her, but I might want her because she's a pretty cool character. So this one's coming out in July to December of 2023.
But this is not the deluxe version, right? The deluxe version is not 285. How much is it? The deluxe version?
320.
320.
All right, let's so I don't know. Like does anybody know off the top of their head when the new ones or when the old one is supposed to come out? The WandaVision one?
I heard it's coming out next month. That's what I heard. So I don't know.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they have to pump out this one so they can get some sales for this new one. So, I mean, it's pretty much around the same time, I think, right? It's right on time for the release date.
I still think the WandaVision one looks great. I mean, that one it's what we said. It's a lighter feel. It looks more like a superhero costume, right? With the sleeveless and the lines and the happier face. Whereas this one is more of it's darker. It looks more horror with like the tattered.
You have there. They write there. There are four sets of candle diorama accessories and specially designed diorama figures stand with graphic card.
So the base is going to be cardboard, and then you're going to have the four sets of candles to throw.
The candles maybe in plastic or resin or something like that.
So the diorama is the candle, not the floor under it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Whatever.
You were talking about the Mark 85 battle damage. Here now is at 245.
245.
Yeah.
Wow.
And no one won it.
Yeah, I mean, I think after Endgame, things have just been dying down, and Star Wars is getting their heat now. So, that's what they're selling.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but that opens the door to another whole conversation. And has Marvel, has Star Wars surpassed Marvel now and just completely taken over as the hottest franchise out there? Did Marvel peak at Infinity War and Endgame, but then these figures are just coming out way too late that it's almost like people have moved on and they're on to the next thing. So now you have figures like Thanos, Captain America, Thor, Ant-Man, everybody just sitting on the shelves. Do you think, Joel, that Marvel has been passed up by Star Wars, or is it just each chapter, like this chapter now belongs to Star Wars because everything is coming out and it's just Marvel's kind of dormant and then Marvel will take over again? What do you think is happening right now?
I mean, you need to consider that with the Avengers line, the Avengers movies, Marvel went through the roof, right?
Right.
And if you speak business wise, Hot Toys did a lot of money with the Avengers line, but they knew that it would reach an end, and when that end reached with the end game, uh, with Star Wars TV shows coming up, Star Wars start to get hyped, especially here in China, because I was talking with some friends from Hong Kong, and they always the topic is always the same. China always look first at the China market. It's the bigger market where they sell hot toys, and what's trending there is what they sell. And Star Wars here now, in the last, I would say, year and a half, everyone just wants Star Wars stuff. While
Right.
5 years ago, no one even knew what was Star Wars.
No one even touched Star Wars figures.
Nothing. No one cared about Star Wars before, and now the hype is on Star Wars. Of course, when it's Star Wars related, Hot Toys looks a lot at the North American market, because I think it will be equally balanced about that. The Marvel, it was the problem with the delays too, because they delay a lot with the release of the figures. You see the Mark 85 Battle Damage, there was so many pre-orders that in China now we are receiving the 9th batch of 15. There are still 6 batch to come, and no one is selling those Mark 85 Battle Damage. I have a store near me that they have around 120 that they are not selling, 120 pieces, and they now put it at 245 with free shipping, of course, 245, and no one is picking them. So
That's insane.
it's a problem, because you need to understand that these stores, they lost pre-orders because many people canceled, and now this is dead stock for them.
Yeah.
And no store want to stay with that stock.
Yeah.
And now they are selling for a loss. The money they are selling at a loss, But Star Wars, what is interesting is that Star Wars, they are releasing here everything in 1-2 batch. They do very a small quantity, because they know it sell fast. It's guaranteed money, and the figures always retain the value. You cannot find Star Wars here unless are those troopers, transport trooper, and the mustard, the artillery trooper. Those the value goes down. But for the rest, the value is maintained or go up. Remnant Trooper is very expensive here. IG-11 is very expensive. Captain Commander is very expensive. And even the original trilogy, that before it was quite cheap, now everything is getting very expensive. So I think the market changed. Now with Star Wars, you have so many TV shows coming. You have so many stuff that the market changed. But I can say that Marvel is dead. In 2-3 years, maybe they will come with something new again.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure it'll change. Really quick before I get to Desi on this topic, I want to say hi to my good friend Marco, 16 Fix in the house. Thank you for stopping by the channel, my dear friend. Desi, do you think it's just Star Wars time to shine right now, and it's just we're always going to follow the hype, and things will always keep changing?
Yeah, it always comes in waves, right? And in Star Wars, yeah, it is hot right now. We're coming off Celebration Weekend here, in the States, but it was felt globally. And like Joel said, now even China's jumping on board because of the shows, with more shows being announced, and or even current shows getting new seasons, and those seasons being announced, and we're seeing trailers. Whereas you look at Endgame, that was what, 2018, 2019, and that was the end of Phase 3. That was the big one, the big deal. Are we seeing this overstock because maybe retailers just ordered way too much, where there was never that demand, and they for some reason thought this one's going to be big, so let's order more? Is that why? you know, or is it because a lot of people came in 2020 and then left the hobby? It could
Right.
be so many different things. Plus the fact that, you know, like Joel said, you know, the big thing was Endgame. Yes, we're getting Marvel movies like this one, but Endgame was huge, right? And then
Right.
it came out 2019, 2018, and the toys didn't come out until years later. So that all adds to it, I think.
Yeah.
So, really quickly too, just want to say hi to Doc Smizzle in the house. He says, "Hi everybody. What is up, Doc? What's up, Doc?"
Yeah.
KG. So, what I'm noticing too on the secondary market is that a lot of these Marvel figures, these newer Marvel figures, they're selling for under retail. So,
Yeah.
do you think part of it also has to do with the fact that the market is just so oversaturated right now that people are just, maybe Star Wars is hot. So, with all the Star Wars figures, people are just selling to get out from under those figures to get Star Wars. What do you think about that? Any thoughts about what's going on?
Yeah. I do agree with the oversaturation too, but also the TV shows that the Marvel has been producing haven't been that positive.
Right.
And I think the so kind of like what there's a lot of controversy towards the She-Hulk trailer that we just got.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know about this show. So I think after Endgame, things have just been not that great, with the exception of with No Way Home. No Way Home was one of the best of the Phase 4 film, maybe the best Phase 4 content. So yeah, like what Desi says, it's like I think it's like a phase, honestly, because I think right now Star Wars is hype, it's amazing, but at some point, one of these days, DC is going to get its light too. DC is going to be big one. I have a feeling that DC after Discovery, Discovery now owns these Warner Brothers. They will figure out something, and the Batman has done such a great job, and and we'll see DC shine its own light with with merchandise. So yeah, I think it's with each thing. Marvel was huge for many years, and now Star Wars, and it will be DC. So it's like a train. And once that train is done, you go to the next train, next train,
Right.
next train. So yeah, it's just that's how it's going to work. I think Marvel has definitely died down. There's just too many good Star Wars figures out there. Too many great Star Wars figures that they're going to make. So this, like I said, it's just a phase for everybody.
Yeah, and I feel it's like collectors. We go in waves, just and that's what obviously where the market goes. It's what we want to buy. So I think
Yeah.
that's what's happening as well. We love these TV shows. They make figures. We buy them. Go on to the next thing. We always want what's new and hot. I do feel bad for those hardcore Star Wars fans that only collect Star Wars because you are getting figures dumped on you constantly, which is a good thing. But I'm just like, wow, that's tough. And for me, I've almost curated my Star Wars collection to the original trilogy. There are some other ones from the prequels, but for people that collect all Star Wars, it's gonna be
Well, I
hard
mean,
on your
here's the thing
wallet.
too. This is good for Marvel fans because now they can get things cheaper.
Yes,
You can
true.
you can have the Endgame line quite cheap now.
Quite cheap.
Right.
I mean, the Endgame Hulk you can find it for like $250
Yeah.
at some brand new. So I'm just waiting for the Endgame Baldoms to go low until I find a deal that suits me. So
You will find it under 200, I believe.
I know it's crazy to even think I diecast Iron under 200. So yeah.
And also, Mandalorian today they already confirmed for 4th season.
Yes.
It's already a deal. So we will have Mandalorian at least for more 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so we'll just keep the Marvel train going for a couple more minutes here because the Taskmaster was released. So we do have the blogger photos. This, and I'll get to you guys on this, but this, in my opinion, I think is going to sit for quite a while.
Oh yeah.
I don't think the movie was that memorable. I don't think the character was that memorable. It was so long ago that I think most people have either forgotten about it or moved on. So Joao, is this do you agree with me or do you think differently?
No, I agree with you, but seeing this figure, I'm not thinking about the movie. I think the figure looks great. I think the outfit and the mask, they really look great. I really like the way they did it. The movie I didn't like it much. I think I think I fall asleep in that movie. To be honest, I think I didn't finish that movie. But I heard that this is it's not right like was in the comics, because in this
Yeah.
movie Taskmaster is a female. But if you can see here in this figure, the structure, the body this is a male body,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
So it's quite strange, but I can appreciate the figure, and I saw some reviews, and I think it looks really good. The shield is held by magnets.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
And the mask looks really good, but that's the problem, is that even if you buy this, then if you don't get a Black Widow, you don't have any figures to pose him together with.
Right.
No, I think this one will sit, and you will find it cheap in a matter of months if you ever consider to get it. But
I'm guessing that for most of the movie, they actually had a male in the suit because I think they were trying to
Yes.
also throw us off as the audience. So I'm guessing Hot Toys just kind of went with what the figure actually looked like
Yeah.
in the
Stunt double.
movie.
It
Right.
was stunt double. Yeah.
Desi, what are your thoughts about this? And while you're talking about that, I'm just going to quick step aside and yell at my kid for not sleeping. I'll be right back.
Go right ahead. Yeah, I agree with Joel on this. I love the figure design on this. I said the other day it was like a mix of Snake Eyes from GI Joe and
Yeah.
Deathstroke from DC.
Yeah.
Right? Like I love this figure design. I've always liked Taskmaster's design, even in the comic books, right? And this one was like a pretty cool, like real life interpretation of it. But yeah, that movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
change for change's sake is never good. Like if they're gonna do a gender swap, that's fine. You know, like it could have worked, but it just
It
like,
didn't.
it didn't. I don't think I've never heard one person say like, "Dude, that was awesome. I'm glad they did that." Like, no.
No.
So
No.
this, this might be a figure that I pick up down the line. I don't know whether to say it's going to sit because it seems that way, or if it's going to sell out quick because they only made like a very very tiny batch. Like I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. If I could, I would pick this figure up just because as a figure and as a design, it looks great.
Yeah.
That's it. KG, what about you, man?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I watched. I think it was Dante. I think it was on Dante. You were on it, and you were just like bashing the film. You're like, oh no,
Yeah.
not a great
No.
film. And I definitely agree with you. I mean, look, here's the thing. I've watched almost every single Marvel film, but I skipped this Marvel film. I didn't have interest in watching it in the theaters, and and I just waited for Disney Plus. And when I watched on Disney Plus, I was like, really, this is the film? I don't know. It felt like it wasn't needed. It just felt like, oh, it was just there. It's like, yeah, just we need a Black Widow film. So,
Yeah.
Yelena was the best part of the film. I'll give them that.
Agreed.
Yelena was definitely the best part.
Agreed.
But that doesn't influence. Oh, he's gone. Oh, there he's back.
There.
It
Sorry,
doesn't.
wrong button.
Yeah, I agree with Desi. I mean, look, I don't like how they use it in the film, but to me, I can pass that. And I look at the source material. I grew up, watching the '90s TV show. I grew up, watching a lot of videos and reading comics. Taskmaster is one of the coolest villains ever. I mean, I'm paying attention to source material, and this one's coming home. But the fact that I know that things are dropping down in price, this guy could be like $100. As crazy as it sounds, you can find for maybe $100. Because this thing is not doing well. I mean, it's a definitely cool piece. And don't get me wrong, I saw Justin's video on it. It's a phenomenal piece, but the way it was used in the film, and agreeing with you too, Desi. Like we don't know how many they made, so this could sell out in a matter of minutes. And it's just like, oh, it's gone, and it could be one of those grails too. Like people are not paying attention to it, and then once it sells out, people are like just FOMOing. I gotta get it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. I'm just kind of waiting for this one. I'm not in a rush.
Yeah.
Understood. All right. Well, what's that? Who's calling?
Yeah, that's Howard Chan calling.
Our Chen.
Howie.
All right. So now we're going to shift over to Star Wars. And let's see here. We're probably going to stay at Star Wars for probably mostly the rest of the show, except for when we get into buy, sell, trade. I want to get your guys' quick opinion on this Darth Maul as well. I know we've been tricked in the past, and they say that he's on waitlist.
I
Do you
don't believe
think? Yeah. Do you guys really think he's on waitlist, or do you think this is another one where we found more in the back, or like a Pennywise where now he's
Yeah.
back in stock and he's sitting in stock? Joel, what do you think? I mean, you're pretty familiar with Sideshow and everything, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that, with those games that
Right.
sometimes they play. I don't know, man. I think this. I saw the review of this mall. I really didn't like it, especially that neck and the body. Um, but it's possible that few people pre-order it and they really have low stock on these. It was not produced in high big quantities,
Yeah.
because here it was only a one batch only.
Oh
It
wow.
came and go, and didn't sell well too. So I don't know if Sideshow is trying to get rid of them and are not selling them, so they do these tricky games. But I honestly would not join that wait list anyway.
I would not either, and I won't, because Desi, let me know if you agree or disagree. But I think, not saying this is a bad figure by any means, but I think out of the three mall figures we have, this is number ranked the lowest. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I just yet ditto, right? This I have to be choosy now, even within Star Wars, because there's so much. Like you said, Graham, like they're dumping so many figures on us, and like this one didn't make the cut. I've got the other two, which look great, and this one, it was iffy enough for me to pull back and say no, no, thank you. And as is this waitlist real or not? I think we'll find out tomorrow. Today's Memorial Day, so I'm assuming they had it off. If there's a system glitch, right?
Right.
They'll fix it tomorrow as soon as they get in, right? If it's not a glitch, then we'll find out either way tomorrow. It'll stay on waitlist. So,
KG, would you be bummed if this really was on waitlist?
Oh
Or
hell
did you pick this figure up?
no. This is my least favorite mall. I have the solo mall, and that's honestly that is the best mall, in my opinion. It's just the way. I mean, the Phantom Menace one's pretty good, but yeah, solo mall is just the whole leg thing, and it's just it's amazing. This one, I was just like shocked at how bad it was. From the body to the way how the clothes was. It just didn't feel like a form-fitting figure. Like it just looked like a toy to me.
Mm-hmm.
I understand these are toys, but these are high-end collectible figures. We're paying for that premium price, and this is not a premium price figure. It felt rushed. It felt like a figure that they just put it out there and hope for the best. I do think in order for me to get this, I have to get Ahsoka in order to recreate that whole Clone Wars kind of scene that we got to see them going against each other. There's no need for this small, and I'm a little shocked that this got waitlisted. Whereas we look at the Pennywise, and that we thought that would be a underproduced figure, and that sold out and came back. So this one's coming back. Maul is definitely a much more popular character than a Pennywise figure. So I do think this will come back tomorrow. If not, then
Pennywise still in stock?
he's still stuck.
Yep.
Oh,
So if
everybody was freaking out, and then he came back, and that was at least a month ago.
Yeah, a month ago. So listen, if he's out of stock, then hey, good luck for hunting it, because it might go up in value. Who knows? But this is definitely not picking it up. For sure.
Blackbird Tech says, FYI, other resellers still have this mall available besides Sideshow. Yeah, I think, in my personal opinion, I do think the solo mall is the best. However, if you're more of a Phantom Menace fan, I think that figure's great as well. I just thought the solo mall had better tailoring on the outfit, and then obviously those robotic legs were pretty sick. So actually, that's the one that I have in my collection, is the solo.
And comes
mall.
with a throne too.
Yeah,
with a share, right?
See, the thing is, if this came with the Mandalorian throne, that would have changed the whole thing. If this came with the actual Mandalorian throne,
true.
It would have sealed the deal with me. But
it's interesting because actually this mall, it belongs to a scene on Clone Wars that is quite important and quite important scene for the Clone Wars. But they just didn't. It could and should be much better than this.
Right. All right. Yeah, so I guess we'll see. I guess we just have to kind of wait it out, see if it comes back in stock. I have a feeling it will, but I would just be surprised if, I mean, like Joao said, unless they made really small batches, but for all the figures they've made recently, and none of those have hit waitlist before coming into stock, but then this one does. I don't
Yeah.
know. To me, it's
Well,
just kind of odd.
The word on the street is they're making a second batch, which is coming pretty soon. So I don't know. Joel, I don't know if you can confirm or not.
No, I cannot confirm. I was just checking here just now, and everything that is that I can get right now in China, there is no stock. You only have those Hong Kong stores selling it here, but they always sell way over retail. They are selling it almost maybe around 350.
Okay.
Sounds good. Well, oh boy, let's get rid of Taskmaster here. So we had Star Wars Celebration. Yes. I was not lucky enough to get to go, but a lot of other content creators did. So I was very jealous of them, seeing all of their pictures and whatnot. But I did get to, Hot Toys posted this today. We're just going to go through kind of some of the figures that were there. They're not necessarily announced yet, but they did have them on display, the prototypes. And here we have the Darth Vader from Obi Wan, and looks pretty cool. Looks pretty sick. To me, it looks just like the Rogue One Vader. I'm guessing it's a pretty straight reissue. Do you guys agree or disagree? I don't see anything different.
There's no difference. Last time Fabio took the Rogue One, and we were comparing on my stream with his photo, and it's exactly the same.
That's what I thought. So, obviously, if you had or have the Rogue One Vader and you were thinking it was a grail, or, you were happy that maybe the price was going up, you might, if that's what you're looking at, you might be a little upset because obviously that price is probably going to go down. But I do think this is the best Vader to have. I really like my Rogue One Vader, so I'm happy for anybody that's missed out that's going to be able to get this. Joao, what Vaders do you have in the collection?
I don't own any Vader yet. And I think for me, the best Vader until now, and that's why I haven't got it yet, for me is the quarter scale. That for me is the best Vader in the market.
I was just, before the show I was watching one on eBay that just went out of my reach. I just wasn't going to get into a bidding war for it.
We talked about this last week. We were messaging about this. I've been scouting that quarter scale, because the difference here is that here we don't get the deluxe version, the sideshow exclusive that you guys get over there. Here we only have the regular version. But yeah, I'm probably going to pick this one up, if not the Rogue One, because the Rogue One here already goes for, the price is going a bit crazy. And yeah, but I think the Rogue One is already what many consider already the best one that you can get for 1/6 scale. So they're doing a reissue. Basically, they are telling us the Vader we are going to see in the TV show is exactly the same one, and it makes sense in some way. But I'm still hoping that, I don't know, I'm still hoping that we could see some kind of battle damage, or seeing the Anakin head sculpt throwing on there or something like that, not just Vader like this is, but it depends what we are going to see on the show that probably we'll talk later on.
Desi, what Vaders do you own?
I have ESB Vader, so Empire Vader, the 40th anniversary edition, which actually my wife got for me as a present, because I actually wasn't going to pick it up, and now that she got it for me, I really enjoy it. But the reason I wasn't going to pick it up was because I was waiting for Return of the Jedi Vader in 6th scale. I figured, hey, they have in quarter, that's the best one, but I don't want to get into quarter scale with Hot Toys. That's what I have statues for. So I'll just wait. They'll eventually make that in 6th scale, and they still haven't. I don't have Rogue One Vader, but I don't know if I like my ESB Vader for now. Right?
It's a good one.
Until Return of the Jedi version comes up with a removable helmet, I don't think I'd go for this, what we see on screen here right now. Unless, like Joel says, if there's a battle damage version that you can remove the helmet Like, okay, something more.
Cool.
Like the differences here are from that and the ESB. Like I can tell you where the differences are. We all can, but I don't think there's enough there for me to say, okay, I'm going to get this.
Right.
For me.
Yeah, and let's see who said this. I just missed it. I think it was Single Songwriter. He says, "This Vader will be my New Hope Vader for my New Hope figures." I think it's a perfect Vader for that. The only difference between this and a New Hope is, well, it's just better. It's a newer, better figure with improvements, but it's just got the gloss and the shine. But it just makes the figure stand out that much more on the shelf. So some people do really like the A New Hope Vader, but I think this one just steals the show. And yes, you can easily use it as a New Hope figure. So obviously it's not been announced, so this could change. Maybe we see a battle damaged scene with Vader and they just totally revamp this and scrap it, because again, all they did was take a Rogue One Vader and put a sign on it that says Kenobi. So they haven't really done anything. It's not been announced. KG, do you have any Vaders, and would you be interested in this one if they just did a straight out reissue?
Unfortunately, I don't own one. I mean, if there was one, I would own the Empire Strikes Back one. I waited it out because I know that Kenobi was going to include Vader, and I have a feeling that once we do see Vader, we're going to get some battle damage look to it. I think we're going to get that half cut where we're going to see Anakin's eye, red eye, and there's something about this show that we might see something that we'll see a battle damage Vader happening, and that might explain why he has a new outfit, new upgrades throughout the different movies that we have seen. I've just been holding off Kenobi, to be quite honest with you. I've always wanted a Vader in my collection. I think Vader's such a key character in Star Wars. He is like, when you think of Star Wars, you think of him, and you think of Luke, and he's definitely one of the most famous Star Wars characters of all time. And I definitely do want to own one in the collection. I've been waiting out for the show, and Hot Toys, they get better with their with the materials, the way they do it. I'm just waiting for the best one, which looks like to be this one.
So if we got a battle damage, would you all get that?
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you would.
Yes. I would love to.
I would too.
Yeah.
For sure.
It'd be pretty cool to put a wired cape on the battle damage one as well.
Yeah.
Just to keep that look to it. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if they have like something like you've seen in, I think it was either Rebels or Clone Wars, but like the half of the mask just kind of damaged and you kind of see the eye. Yeah. I think that would be cool. Something that I think is a long shot, but that I was hoping for before the series even started was like in his meditation chamber. I mean, it'd be a huge whole diorama piece. It'd probably be like a $500 piece, but
I would like a tank to have in the
back
tank.
to tank would be a pretty cool scene. I don't know if they'll do either of those, but they'd be pretty sick.
But even for the battle damage is a long shot, because for Vader to have the battle damage, you need to have a quite confrontation with Obi Wan or someone for him to get battle damage, and I don't know if that will happen.
It happened in Rebels, right? It'd be great to not only have that, but have. I personally love a Rebels Vader because it has a McQuarrie look to it. I know that's probably not going to happen because that requires 2 licenses, because you need to have a license, I believe, from McQuarrie directly in addition to Lucasfilm. So I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be great because that look is cool to me.
Well, and that's the thing too. I was wondering when Kenobi was coming out, like really, because I knew we were probably going to get a figure, but I figured it'd be a reissue because it's like at this point, what do you do? Like his outfit can't really be that much different than what we've seen prior, because we've seen him in Revenge of the Sith, and then you've seen him in Rogue One, and it's all the same. So in between, would he really have a different suit, or unless he gets into a confrontation and his battle damage, that would be a different figure. But otherwise, we probably are looking at just like a reissue.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, they can change. They can change it now because it will change everything.
Right.
They can change now.
Yeah. And that's why.
Yeah, go ahead, Desi.
Sorry, no, I was just to say that's why I was waiting for the Return of the Jedi one, because that one you can remove the helmet and the faceplate. That's the difference on that.
And I do think that next year is the 40th anniversary for Return of the Jedi. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So we might get a 1/6 scale version of that quarter scale where we get the head sculpt. So I don't know. I might get 2 Vaders apparently because I'll be getting this and then the Vader from Return of the Jedi once they release that.
I mean, you can never have enough Vaders. I currently have Rogue One and Empire Strikes Back, and I was looking at getting that quarter scale. So, I mean, for a guy that doesn't like to collect multiples unless it's like Batman.
Yeah, it's definitely the Iron Man of Star Wars. They like to make a lot of Vaders.
I want to look at these separate. They also have the battle droids with the the Stap. Yep. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And does this interest anybody?
It's cool, but it's huge.
Right. Yeah, you're not going to fit this in a DTOF, I don't think.
No.
Dude.
No way.
Unless you drop the shelf.
True. Yeah.
Everything they showed off is all the vehicles. I mean, they all interest me. It's just now that, again, I have to be choosy because I don't think the price is off for any of these. If you break it down, even the Bark Speeder, which I'm sure we'll get to, if you break it down per figure, like it seems reasonable. However, it's just so much. Do I really want to spend? Let's look at this. How much is this going to be? Because they haven't officially announced it, but probably $385, right? Just like Anakin on Stap.
Yeah, in a vehicle.
Do you want to pay $385 for a battle droid on Stap, or do you want to pay $385 for a deluxe Mace Windu when the original officially announced that eventually? I have to. A main character or this?
You are calling long shots deluxe Mace Windu.
Whatever. I mean, it's not, or even if a regular Mace Windu and it's $305, right? Pick this for $385 or a Mace Windu for $305.
Yeah,
right. That's a no-brainer. It's always the droid.
so for it might some people might pick a droid, right? But like I can't with my budget, I can't have all of it, right? So,
it's hard. Right. It's definitely hard.
Well, that's the thing for me too. I've kind of had to I'm not the huge Attack of the Clones or prequel fan or Clone Wars or even Rebels. Like I enjoy it. I love Star Wars, but I grew up during the original trilogy. I do like the prequels, but I'm kind of finding out that it's not really something that I can collect because I have, like you, Desi, I have to be selective because I'm also collecting Marvel, DC, and then the one-offs like Terminator, RoboCop, Predator, stuff like that. So I've had to be really selective with Star Wars, so I've kind of had to turn myself off of the prequel stuff. So while I was really excited for to see all of these figures, I've kind of just been like, well, I'm out of the game for this one. Nope, not going to get that one, not going to get that one. And it sucks, but at the same time, we as collectors, we have to make those tough choices because we got to buy with our wallet, not always our heart. So, KG, what are your quick thoughts on this battle droid? And is this this is from Phantom Menace, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the lighter tan colored.
Yeah.
So it's not Geonosis.
Well, there's definitely an age gap because I grew up with the prequels.
Right.
I grew up with those films, and I love every single one of them. Yes, they have their moments, but they're part of Star Wars and that story. And yeah, I'm going with Desi, man, because I mean, with that example of a Mace or a droid, I would go for Mace day over day. I mean, that's Mace Windu compared to a droid. I mean,
right.
We can get multiple droids. We can get one Mace Windu. So I have multiple chances of getting another droid than a Mace Windu, right? So you just have to look at that because right now, Hot Toys, they are getting a lot of Star Wars figures in. Those pre-orders of we'll get into with the troopers that went on pre-order with the vehicles. There's a lot of stuff coming. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We still have Comic-Con. We haven't seen Mace, we have seen Padme, so they're definitely going to expand that Attack of the Clones anniversary. So this is it. This is just like half of it. Probably we're gonna get the other half on that day. So on that week, and I'm just surprised they haven't released this guy, the Super Battle Droid. I mean, they showed it last year, and now they're showing it again this year.
Let's keep showing it.
Yeah, I mean, look, those Death Watches are just waiting. Those Death Watches are just waiting to get an enemy on the shelf to have. I don't know. I mean, I'm a huge prequels fan. Those shiny clone troopers, I cannot wait for those. Those are must-haves for me. I'm just as a prequels fan, I'm just ecstatic. I cannot wait to see what we get next for prequels. So.
Yeah, and if you are a prequels fan, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming. They even showed some of the Bad Batch. That looks like they're going to finish that line off maybe eventually. I mean,
Maybe.
nothing was announced, but
Well,
they're
they have to
teasing.
announce these ones, right? Because they have a new look now at the Bad
Right.
Batch, so they have to announce this quickly.
Season 2 is coming out soon, right?
Yeah,
Fall, I
in
think.
fall, so they have to announce these pretty quick.
They released a trailer, and like KG's saying, they have a different color scheme at the very least. So in season 2,
This crosshair looks sick.
It looks
Yeah.
really good.
yeah, it looks
Yeah, it's a
badass.
great looking figure. I love the battle damage, all the wear and tear, the weathering, even like kind of see like pitting going on in the
Mhm.
shields right here, the armor looks
The
great.
thing with the Bad Batch is that you need to get the 5 of them. You cannot get
Right.
only 1 or 2. You need to
Yeah.
get the full team.
Yeah, you just have to. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, lots of good stuff here. Great looking head sculpt. I couldn't get into the Bad Batch myself. I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. I kind of fell off of it. Did anybody else have the same or experience, or did you guys really enjoy it?
I finished,
I'm
but
going through it now.
Okay.
it's definitely there's not a lot of episodes that deal with the main plot. Let's just say that it's definitely a what's the word?
Fillers.
Fillers. There's a lot of fillers. Like I would say 70% of the show is filler. So
I got through it. I enjoyed it. I feel the same way about it that I feel about Clone Wars and Rebels, and a lot of people don't say that, but I thought a lot of Clone Wars was filler. I thought a lot of Rebels was filler. Like there's episodes that I
I
couldn't
think Clone
watch.
Wars, almost half of them are fillers.
Yeah.
There are a lot
there
of
are
fillers
a lot
episodes
of
there.
fillers in Clone Wars.
So I don't think it was any better or worse, but there were some episodes that I loved. Just same thing with Clone
But
Wars. Or Rebels.
but that's the reason why many people they don't even try to watch Clone Wars, because that first season is hard to go is hard to go through.
It's definitely hard to
Right.
get by, but it gets better after that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
a broken
after-
record. I keep
After
saying
season
like
5, after season 5 starts to catch up, and it's a breeze, and
Yeah.
it's
I
quite
keep
enjoyable.
telling people don't try to watch the whole thing if you haven't watched it. Just
Yeah,
Google
but you know
best
that
episodes.
the problem is that there are so many stuff there that it's
Yeah.
quite important for you to understand then the full story, even connected with Kenobi. Now there are a lot of stuff on the Clone Wars that you want to watch.
Yeah.
The Yoda, the connection with Qui-Gon, the training
That was a
to
good
become
episode.
that's a good episode, and is important.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm surprised we didn't get this figure yet. This is
This one it's incredible.
it's just mind blowing. I mean, this is what it's 4th time now showing. Yeah, I don't know what's going
Are they
on.
waiting for license to do a
Head
head
sculpt?
sculpt? I don't know.
You think this is the type of figure, to me, it looks too much like a different figure if you're just getting it how it is. Like, it's too much like season 2 Mando, or even just or Boba Fett. Season 2 Mando, the Boba Fett character, but it also just it's too much Boba Fett. Like, you need to get a portrait with this one, in my opinion.
I think in Boba Fett, Book of Boba, it doesn't have the armor.
Correct.
Yeah,
So this is a Mandalorian figure. I would get it like this. I don't need a head sculpt. Give him like this. Announce it like this.
I don't know. I think you
wouldn't.
definitely need a Timothy Oliphant.
You
sculpt.
wouldn't.
Yeah, it's just
No,
not
this-
different
this-
enough for me.
This doesn't exist to me until like they give me a head sculpt.
To me, it's
Right.
like if I were to display this, I would display him without the helmet, because
Yeah.
if you're having if you have the 2 by Boba Fett next to this, you're looking, oh, it's Boba and Boba Fett. What's
Yeah,
going on?
it's the same helmet, same armor, but
Right.
You kind of need that sculpt, because majority of the time he was, showing his face, so
It's got a great face. Got to show that face.
yeah, he's got an amazing
maybe
face.
they are waiting for the license. That's it. I don't know.
That could be possible too.
Anybody catch the Office episode with Timothy
Yes.
Oliphant in it? What a weird, awkward episode, but
Yeah,
But that's years ago, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
years ago. That was a long time.
Probably, yeah,
2000. I think the first episode aired 2004.
right. And then I think Steve Carell was still in it, so it had to be 2010, 2009, something like that.
Yeah,
But
I watched them all, but I don't remember specifically.
Oh, yes.
KG's getting this one. Anybody else getting this one?
Yeah, I'm getting both of them.
I'm waiting for the promotion on June 18. June 18, Hot Toys here in China will do a promotion.
That's
We'll
my
have, I think
birthday.
it's
Oh
15
wow,
per.
that's
Oh, there you
amazing.
go.
Really?
Yeah.
It's I think they are going to give 15% off because they opened pre-orders for these 3 days ago here, and they already announced that on June 18 we'll have 15% off some codes.
Joel, one quick
Yeah.
question. I've heard a rumor that they've only made 500. Is
That's
that
in
true?
Hong Kong. That's in Hong Kong,
It's in
not
Hong Kong?
China. Mainland China, no. Mainland China, there is no. I didn't read about any limited edition. Actually, I can order 5 if I want or 6.
Oh wow. Okay.
It looks pretty. I'll say
Yeah.
that. Like I've
It
been
is very
saying,
nice.
it's a nice Cylon to go with a DeLorean if you've got one. I just think it looks amazing. I've got a gold stormtrooper. I just like the chrome. This speaks to the whole traditional toy collecting of variants and chase figures to me. And just as a design, it looks good. Same thing for the black chrome Death Trooper. They'll look good next to my gold stormtrooper. So
that's my question. Do you guys like getting variants like this, or do you like to stick closer to screen accurate figures?
It depends. For me, it's all about because I buy off of nostalgia wise, and
Right.
things like that. But when I saw these two, because I love Clone Wars, but I also love the Death Troopers design. I've always loved it. I've always wanted one. So it does deal with nostalgia factor as well, but in some sort of manner, it also deals with a cool factor because the shine, the chrome look, it's such a unique look. When you have these guys in the detail for a module case, when that light hits the armor, it gives that shine.
Right.
And yeah, for me, it's a must. These two were a must. I almost wish I got a second code so I can make another account and buy a second one, buy 2 of these, just because it's like you kind of want to have 2 of them. 2 of each to display. I was planning on getting a Moff Gideon in the middle and having 2 Death Troopers behind them, the Chrome Death Troopers. I think that would have looked nice. But yeah, these are ultimately these had to come home. These 2 were just I couldn't pass up on.
He's got the Beskar armor.
Yeah, Beskar armor.
it is.
It's definitely a shiny. That's for
Right.
sure. They referenced in this Clone Wars show shinies, but this is definitely a shiny. Yeah, this is a must-have. Oh, Death Trooper.
I don't like that image. Oh man, that's the only one. Okay, well, and then they also have this Death Trooper.
You definitely want to wear some gloves with these 2. You've got
Right.
those fingerprints.
Joao, are you picking this guy up?
Oh no, actually, it's funny because I was talking that I could get 5 or 6 if I want, and I would just find out they both sold out.
And there you go.
And there's 500 of them. There's none. Wow.
This would be the one that I would consider getting because for a while I was tinkering around with getting a Death Trooper because I do think they look really cool and they're pretty badass. So if I could get my hands on this one, I might think about it. But then again, I'm like, but would I rather just get the black one because that's again the one we've seen, and this is kind of like a variant. And for me, it would be my only one. So I don't know.
I'm still checking because I know what happened here. It's the same thing that happened with Martin, the Back to the Future, that in China there were only 300 or 400. The thing is that it's about a group of 10 or 20 people that get them all. They use different accounts to get them all, and then they sell it in the second market. Then the Martin happened the same with the Martin.
Well, I do think that the Back to the Future now has such a small fan base compared to Hot Toys, so I think this would sell more than the Back to the Future. I think this will sell out fast.
Yeah, but this is what will happen, and then if I really want it, I will need to pay a bit more than the retail price. But I think it will go to for pre-order in Sideshow, right, on June 1st or something like that.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Probably.
They will see what they have remaining, and they'll put those on.
But these will not be in a huge quantity because they need to release them in a few months.
A few months,
third quarter. Yeah,
looks cool. And then they unloaded some more clone troopers with vehicles. Obviously, we've seen the C-3PO, and we've talked about that. But you get to
you are not getting this C-3PO and R2D2, Graham.
No, I've kind of cooled on that. Again, I might get the R2 to replace my Sideshow, but I think I'm going to hold out for the the classic C-3PO. I just don't see myself wanting this one. It looks great as a figure. I think the battle damage or the weathering on it looks amazing. I love all the detail in it, but it's just not the C-3PO that I grew up with. That I think I would want to represent my collection.
You can buy the 1-to-1 scale. It's on Sideshow now for pre-order.
1-to-1?
5,800, yes.
I don't know how that would fit. C-3PO would not be the figure I would want in 1-to-1, I don't think.
In
Yeah,
that
from
corner
side
there,
to
near your model case, near that corner there,
Yeah.
it will look amazing.
Pretty tight. But yeah, here's R2. Yeah, I don't know, because R2, again, I don't really articulate it, and that one is really flimsy and loose, but I don't move him, so I'm just kind of like, well, do I want to spend that money on a different figure or upgrade my R2? I don't know.
Yeah.
I
There's
guess
so
it
many
depends
R2
on what
in the
else is
market.
out.
All these battle droids.
Yeah, and we've seen all this stuff before, so I just kind of want to go to scrolling down the figures that we didn't quite get to. So make that bigger. So we got Commander Oppo and is it the Bark Speeder?
Yeah.
Bark Speeder.
I mean, again, this stuff looks pretty cool, and for all of you Clone Wars and prequel fans, like this is pretty sweet looking. Again, it's not something that I'm gonna get, but like this setup right here, I think looks awesome. Anybody getting this?
It depends.
Yeah, it depends. This is going back to what I was saying, and we were just looking at C-3PO, R2-D2, and okay, so we got C-3PO, R2-D2, Bespin and Luke, which I definitely want to get those three. And they were all announced along with this at the same time. So if all of this drops around the same time, like there's no way I can get C-3PO, R2-D2, Bespin and Luke, then this plus the other speeder, like it's just not happening, you know?
Yeah, that
depends how
wallet.
How long it stays in stock.
This is why I feel bad for all these hardcore Star Wars fans that
prequels, man.
Focused, yeah.
Stuff. Yeah, I mean, it depends for me. I mean, I love the Clone Wars. I've loved every single clone. I do wish they offered a separate, just give us the single clone instead of the vehicle. I love the vehicle, but as far as space and money, yeah, I don't know. It really depends on where I'm at. If I'm gonna get this, I have to get a Maju case. You know, there's no way I would split this on top of a D-top. It's kind of disrespecting the whole thing. So I have to display this in the proper manner. I do love the I'm sorry, I'm bad at names. The Walker that's there.
ATRT.
ATRT. I would love to own it. Like I would love to own like this whole picture. I would love to own it, but it just comes down to space and money and where I'm at. Because even what Desi said, there's a lot of stuff coming around that time. I mean, we got the Bespin, we got the C-3PO, R2-D2, shiny clones. There's a lot.
This is will release which quarter? Next year,
July to December of 2023, I believe, right?
But it's not only Star Wars problem. If you are also collecting Spider-Man, Doc Ock, Goblin will come around that time. If you're collecting Back to the Future, you got DeLorean, you got Marty McFly.
Graham, they haven't officially announced it.
Yeah, Graham, it's
okay.
Bart, yeah, no, and that's not just Star Wars; it's also Marvel and DC as well.
But I was checking is that I think I already saw the Troopers alone for pre-order.
No,
I saw them somewhere.
No,
I don't think so. No,
I thought so too, but they just released all of these photos and that's it. So that's I think why I thought it was already out for pre-order.
Yeah, which is ironic because in Hong Kong, I'm sure Joel knows this, space is a huge issue, and I would think they would do a
few people will get these.
So there's I was on Denobi's stream last night. He brought up a good point that since in Hong Kong and these certain places they don't have a lot of space. They might make a few of these, and it will tend to sell out pretty fast because of that. Yeah, and I just don't see a lot of people in Hong Kong pre-ordering this. Maybe like the max, honestly, maybe like 15 or 20 people.
It's what happened also with the Scout Trooper with a speeder bike.
Yeah,
very few people got that over here.
Yeah,
that's why they are gone already.
But it's still in stock over here.
Yeah, it's like 15% off right now with $5 shipping on that side.
That's
shows.
crazy. Doc Smizzle says, "Gotta figure out where all this is going. I'm sure he's
Yeah.
getting everything. This might be good for Case. They might their sales might be going even further up. I know Best Car Kid says he ordered a Case 698 in anticipation for the ATRT.
Oh,
Again, that's what you're gonna need because this thing's gonna be big. Yeah, yeah, you guys are just you're gonna have to kind of plan. You're gonna have to. Everybody's really, for the most part, everybody's gonna have to be selective and just
yeah,
something's gonna have to go if you're getting this or that because there's gonna
yeah.
be a lot of stuff dropping at the same time.
If you're planning to buy this vehicle, Star Wars, stick with Star Wars then, because there's no way a person can collect this and collect Marvel and DC. Because if they're going at this rate with all these vehicles, it's going to be a dangerous game.
Right.
Yeah,
It's going to be
completely.
huge.
But money aside, if you picture a model case with all this stuff and a lot of troopers together, this will
It will
look
look good.
amazing.
It'll look great.
That'll be an expensive display, but it'll be really good.
Desi Combat Evolves says he's surprised that they didn't release the clones without the vehicles to make more money. What do you think about that? He thinks it's dumb.
I talked to him about it. I think eventually they'll release the clones, by themselves. But for now, why?
Right.
That makes people buy the speeder if you really want the clones, and they'll spend that much more money for the speeder. It's really not a bad money-wise. It's not a bad price for it if you break it down, especially the one that comes without the sidecar. If you break that down the middle, you're paying what, like $250 or less than $250 for the figure and $250 for the bike. That's not bad. Hot Toys price, right? It's just that it's a lot. Like you're forced to buy all this at once. But I'm sure they'll release these particular clones later separately, one way or the other. Even if it's like a convention exclusive or limited time offer or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lots of good stuff coming if you're a Star Wars fan. So lots to be excited about. Speaking of Star Wars and being excited, we did also have the first and second episode of Kenobi that came out last Friday.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys have seen that because I do want to talk about that with the panel tonight. Your warning, there might be some spoilers. Hopefully you've seen it or you are going to see it really soon because the next episode actually comes out on Wednesday. So from here on out, they're going to come out on Wednesdays.
Let's give them 10 seconds before
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay. So, and it depends. Like we don't have to get heavy into spoilers here, but at the same time, if it the discussion takes us there, then that's where it takes us. So, Joao, what did you like and what did you not like so far about the series? And
let me think.
Let me change that. Let's just say, do you enjoy the series so far?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
Enjoy a lot. I really like it.
What do you like the most about it right now?
Kenobi.
Yeah.
Everything that he's going through, I think he plays the character amazingly. I think you really can see how devastated he is and how life is hard for him because he just give up everything. He's working in like a butcher, something kind of thing. There are a lot. I talked with Desi about this. We agree that there are some fillers in those episodes, like the part that you see three times. We see him packing food for the pet, for the what's the name? I don't remember the name of that.
I don't remember.
But I think it looks. I really like the Inquisitors, especially the Grand Inquisitor. I like it, and I'm seeing Hot Toys figures there, right there. Riva, I think the character is missing something. I think there's something missing there. Seems a bit forced sometimes. The way she acts.
Maybe not enough depth yet. Like we've seen like what happened to her, but at the same time, maybe not quite enough.
I want to know more about her, but I don't want the show to be only about her.
Right.
You understand? I'm a bit afraid of this because we know that she has something against Kenobi, and we can only speculate that maybe she was left in the temple. Maybe she thinks Kenobi and the other Jedi's didn't help her. Maybe she was hiding in the temple. Maybe she saw Kenobi putting that Kenobi in the Revenge of you put the audio or a video for all Jedi's to run away. Do you remember?
I do.
When
Yeah.
we went with Yoda over there.
Yep.
Maybe she was hiding there. Maybe she saw that. Maybe she because there's one part that she says to Owen that the Jedi's are all cowards. They will not come to help you. They will never help you. So there's clearly something she has against them because she was a Jedi before, right? A youngling.
Right. Yep.
So I want to know more about this story, but I don't know how deep they will go to this. I like the Leia part. Really enjoyed it. Many people say this is a bit lame, but I liked it. Okay, there are some parts over there, like when she's being chased by those guys, that looks a bit forced because that scene is a bit But I like her. Disney was smart. They insert that droid there for merchandise, that Lola droid.
I figured that would be the next toy that they'd.
That's the next toy. Hasbro is already doing it in $89. But yeah, I enjoyed. And then the end of the second episode really makes you want more, and you want.
Oh yeah,
it's there's a part there that I'm also a bit curious. Is that when Obi Wan calls from Qui-Gon? I think Obi Wan is not trained enough to contact with Qui-Gon, but he starts to call him, and if he appears. I was a bit there's a part when Obi-Wan enters that cave and you see someone there, and I said, is this Qui-Gon here? Because they want to give you that impression, because they want to give you that mystery. Who's there, right? And this the Senator Organa. But yeah, for sure they will go deep into this. We will know. We will have Qui-Gon appear in some form, even in. I don't know when, but I think we will see him. But
maybe we'll get our first Hot Toys spirit figure, like Force Ghost. It'll be blue.
Translucent.
There's other thing that intrigues me a lot is about the Riva knowing about Anakin being Vader.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I don't get how she knows who Darth Vader is, because it seems like I don't think he just goes around telling people. But then again, it's 10 years later, so people probably just know still, I guess. But we can talk about that. But KG, are you enjoying it so far?
10 out of 10. I just love. I've always wanted to see the journey of Obi-Wan after Revenge of the Sith and before A New Hope. I really want to see how that character progressed. Because. I mean, I'm sure, before even watching the show, I knew that he was going to deal with PTSD, with that whole thing happening to, I guess you could say, his brother, Anakin. Right. And I just got chills when he was having those nightmares, and, I was like, wow. And seeing that again, yeah, I think the show, there's definitely moments where I felt that the show, it didn't feel like it was a filler episode. It felt like a guy going on his day, but dealing with this whole issue with Anakin's son, taking care of his son, watching over him, and one day training him to be a great master Jedi. And when he left Tatooine, he still had this like, oh, should I go? Should I not go? Or he went to go save Leia. And let me tell you something. I loved every single moment of Leia. I mean, that sassy sort of characteristic of Leia, it was just well played by the young actress. I love the scene where, where Obi-Wan has a bounty on him, and he's like, "You're my daughter." He's like, "Granddaughter, maybe."
Yeah.
It was such a good, well played scene, and in that last scene, we get to see them kind of leaving, and and Leia's kind of like acting like a. Like a general or something, and like, let's go. And she goes like, and then Obi-Wan's like, you kind of remind me of someone. And so that's Padme, her mother, and I got tearied up. I'm like, wow, that moment. I just love those types of moments where we get to see Obi-Wan kind of having those flashbacks of those moments, seeing, in Leia. And it's funny, because when he figured out that Anakin was still alive, and Leia was right there, and he's like, Leia, he's like, are you fine? Are you okay? I'm like, no, your father's alive. Your father's still out there. And when he said Anakin, and then Anakin opens his eyes in the tank, and I got
awesome.
And I'm so ready for the next episode of
Do you think at that moment Anakin felt Obi-Wan?
I do believe
that's why
so.
he opened the eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, when
the fear,
and now he's back, with the Force. He can feel his presence now. He's getting back to it, and yeah, I mean, the show is very promising. I was very worried how the show was going to go because of the Book of Boba Fett. I thought it was going to be a lot of fan service. And it's so far, it's a story. It's a great storytelling. I mean, the one thing I love about Star Wars is the storytelling aspect of it. And it felt like a true Star Wars series. I think, to me, in my eyes, this is the best Star Wars show. I mean, Mandalorian is great and all, but I've always wanted to see that Obi-Wan journey.
It's a bold take. It's a bold take.
I know it is, but it's just Obi-Wan. I grew up with the prequels, and it's definitely a nostalgic factor seeing Obi-Wan again. And I teared up, man. I mean, even seeing the trailers, I'm like, wow, we get to see. And I gotta say, great timing, by the way. 10 years. I mean, from what was it? The Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005. So now that's like what? I mean, yeah, that's 17 years. But still, it's great timing, and he's definitely, aged, for the right point of time that it's taking place. And yeah, I can't wait to see what entails for the next few episodes. And I heard the rumor that there might be hints of maybe a few more episodes coming.
Oh,
so yeah.
I mean, it depends how long you will need to take Leia back to Alderaan. That's what I'm afraid.
Yeah, John Capia said that there's definitely there might be a hint that we'll get 2 more episodes of Kenobi. So if that's true, I mean, I'm all for it, man. Give me longer episodes for Kenobi.
Yeah, but if so, they were already filmed before, right? Because they will not going to.
You would think
I would think so too, but it might be like 2 surprising episodes. Like, oh, we got 2 surprising episodes coming out, but I don't know. We'll see.
You mean beyond the 6?
Yeah, like it was 2 on Friday, and we have 4 more. That's what we think, but there might be another 2 episodes coming. That's the rumor apparently. So I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, I just loved every single moment of it. I loved, because I think that toy that Obi-Wan gave to Luke was the same toy in A New Hope.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
So yeah, I mean, seeing the Grand Inquisitor, which was kind of
playing Santa for Luke.
Yeah, exactly. And
his uncle's playing the Grinch.
Yeah,
his uncle.
Grand Inquisitor died in Rebels, right? I don't understand how that through. Is that?
And we'll get to the Grand Inquisitor in a little bit. I was like, here.
What? I was confused. So it might be a situation where they
clone.
that stupid robotic Boba Fett people that prepare him. They might do that. I don't know what they will do, but
Darth Maul.
Back to tank.
Back to tank, and then we'll just get the people to make them and have robotic parts.
Yeah, to keep it short, I don't want to keep going long, but I just want some Grand Inquisitors. Give me a Vader, give me an Obi-Wan, and maybe give me a young Leia. I would love to buy young Leia for sure. So far, I'm loving 2 episodes.
KG is all in. Desi, I want to get your thoughts, but I also want to ask you a question too.
Sure.
So KG said he didn't think there's any filler. He thought it was really good. But then I've heard on the other side of the tracks that some people are like, these first 2 episodes is pretty much all filler, from seeing Obi-Wan to basically just him realizing, like the main thing was just him realizing that Darth Vader was still alive. So I want to get your take on that. If you think there was too much filler, if you thought it was, just good. I mean, if we really wanted to look at it, this whole series could really just be filler, because we know what happened before and we know what happens after. But first off, what did you think so far? And do you think there's too much filler going on?
Overall, I thought it was a good show. I thought it was really good. I'm really looking forward to it. I agree with KG. I think this is probably the best Star Wars TV coming from Disney Plus thus far. Um, I like to rate my stuff on a 5 scale, and I said the other day I give it a high 3 out of 5, and I can't give it a 4 or a 5 because that's like 4 and 5 is reserved for things like Empire Strikes Back, and on the TV realm, things like X-Files, which was my favorite series, or the best episodes of Star Trek. So for this is to me like a high 3. Filler, I don't think this was filler. I think that's very subjective, but in my opinion, I don't think this was filler. I think that there's some people that, and it's okay, but I think there's some people that will think anything and everything is filler unless Obi-Wan is fighting Darth Vader on screen.
Yeah, I was just going to say
I just want to see that for 6 episodes, honestly.
Yeah, and that's cool, but you can't. You have to build to it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It can't just be that. What I wanted to see going into the show and that we got was PTSD Obi-Wan.
Right.
Yes, correct.
That's what I wanted to see. That kind of drama, having someone stumble, fall, and then learn to pick themselves up. That's what I want to see out of a character, especially in these circumstances. And we're getting that.
Right.
There's so much good about this show, like that. The Leia scenes I thought were great. My daughter loved them. I loved them. I thought that was good. Everything and especially the Leia scenes with Jimmy Smits, that was great with Bail Organa.
Mm-hmm.
The only character, the Grand Inquisitor was great. I didn't think I would like him that much, even though I liked him in Rebels. Like the visuals were, but when I saw it, everything came together for me in the show. So I like that. I'm sorry, I don't like Reva.
Yeah, me neither.
I think that she is a great actress, and I will say, like I said the other day, that I think that the writing and the direction let that actress down so far in the first 2 episodes. The rest of the show will make or break not only the show, but her character. In my opinion. That's just
to me, she felt unnecessary. It felt like they just added her in. Like,
I don't get why she cares so much about Obi-Wan. She's got this obsession about Obi-Wan. Where does that come from?
I don't
Maybe
know.
We'll learn later on. Maybe they'll tie it together.
We will, I think. Yeah, we'll get some clarifications to why she hates him so much.
Right now, there's so much that I can pick away at that character, and everything is going to sound like nitpicky. It's like, why does she look so human if she's a Sith? Most of the Sith are like this. Look at all the other Inquisitors. Look at all the other Sith. They all, I mean, with the exception of maybe Dooku, right? Like all the other Sith we've seen are like extreme.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they look like they're in heavy metal bands, like extreme. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's just like, okay, so there's that. There's the visuals plus the acting, like the dialogue. It's like, Obi-Wan, you can't run away from him. Like, why would you say you can't run away from him? Like, if you're that aggressive, you're like, you can't run away from me. Like, not from. It's just none of it's coming together. I'm nitpicking, as you can see, the heck out of it.
Right.
So let's see what the rest of the episodes bring of that character.
She's clearly different because you remember the Grand Inquisitor told her that she comes from the gutter. They brought her from the gutter. So that's some backstory over there that maybe we are going to see some backstory from Reva.
Yeah, I mean, I get the whole. She's treated differently. I mean, as far as the gutter, they all come from gutter. Anakin came from the gutter. Darth Maul came from the gutter. All the Sith came from the gutter, right? That's how they ended up there. But I see your point. Like, she is treated differently even now than the rest of the Inquisitors, but that's because she acts differently too. So I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe she works exclusively for Vader. Maybe she's
maybe.
Well, that's what Beskar Kid says.
Yeah.
She works for Vader. That's why.
Maybe.
And not all of them have force power, right? Not all the Inquisitors do, but she does.
She does.
But
the Grand Inquisitor also have.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Because there's a scene where
you stop her from slashing that Jedi in the beginning.
Yeah,
but not all Inquisitors have the Force, correct?
I don't know.
I know the Inquisitors are Padawans that turn to the dark side, but I thought there was.
I think they all have. I'm not sure.
Let us know in the chat. Okay, so Beskar Kid says they do all have force powers. Okay, well, thanks for clarifying that. So, yeah, we got to find out kind of what her deal is. I thought she kind of got a bad rap. Like, I agree there was some parts that like forced, like why does she have this obsession? I'm hoping they'll reveal that to us later. But I thought she did overall pretty good. I didn't like find myself saying I can't stand this character or anything like that. So I don't know. I thought she was all right. Speaking of the Inquisitors, do you guys actually think the Grand Inquisitor is dead? Because they killed him off pretty early.
No,
No one dies in Star Wars.
no one, no
That's
one,
right.
no one's ever really
No
gone.
one's really. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we thought Fennec was gone; she came back. So I mean, because it doesn't make sense. I mean, he's still alive in Rebels, right? So I just don't see how that's possible.
I don't see why like they would. I understand that they can decide to make the cartoons not canon.
Right.
That's fine, but I don't see why you would specifically bring in a character from the cartoon when you could have just created a new one.
Right.
Bring in a character from a cartoon that happens in the future into the past just to kill him off and then like retcon the what hasn't happened yet. I'm sure they're going to explain something. Either Jarrell's right, like he's a clone or something, or they just put him in a back to tank and he's good.
Did you guys enjoy
Or Salem.
that parkour scenes from Riva?
It was a little over the top, but
No, there's one scene that is horrible. She
Okay.
with the force she throws down some kind of tower, and then instead of doing a front flip, she does a back flip
Going forward.
Going forward.
Yeah, I thought that was a little
extreme.
unnecessary.
That one.
Yeah, and that's nothing against her character. Like that's nothing. That's
No,
not
nothing.
yeah,
Not-
that's
yeah.
just like editing. It's like what?
Editing. A back flip front forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For the most part, I thought she was okay. I didn't think she was great, but I didn't like hate her like some people do. I thought the young
And to be
lady that
clear-
played
To be
Leia
clear, we are
did
talking about the character, not the actress.
right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think she's getting a lot of hate, and it's like, well, she's just playing the role that they
Yeah,
gave her.
she's
So
Yeah, it's good. Come on.
There's
But-
no reason to hate an actor or an actress.
Right.
The same thing goes for Hayden Christensen. I remember
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
everybody
he
was
took
hating
direction.
on him during the prequels, and I never liked his acting in the prequels. But I always said I don't blame him. I blame the writing, the directing, and the editing. Because I know he's a good actor. So I say the same thing about her.
right, and I thought the young lady that played Leia did an amazing job. And if you guys look
Sure.
closely, you might have seen that they tried to kind of jog your memory of Leia by her wardrobe and giving her like the Bespin outfit a little bit, like
Bespin
that.
outfit,
Is it? It was like a reddish maroon.
Yeah.
And then also the green reminded me of the poncho right away
Yeah.
from Return of the Jedi. So I thought that was just kind of cool, like just kind of little Easter eggs, I guess, to the original trilogy. And sometimes we don't like things, but then Beskar Kid says, "Damn, I thought that backflip was kind of badass." So I mean, just because we don't like it doesn't mean you guys out there didn't like or do like it or didn't like it. Everybody's just got that subjective mindset. So Jable says it was like the backwards spin guy in the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I mean it was just like, okay, like do we need all of this kind of stuff? Like, but it wasn't bad. Do you guys think that it added any plot holes to the original story?
What do you mean by original story?
So for example, and these are going to be nitpicky, so just be aware. Like this isn't anything like over the top, really bad or anything like that. Obviously, they tried to make a joke about, like KG said, about Obi-Wan's age because they know he looks a lot younger than Alec Guinness did in the original trilogy, and you can't really change that. So they're like, maybe I should call you Grandpa. Like they're kind of like hinting, like making fun at that. But for some people, that might be hard to see that he's just not as old as he is in the original trilogy. I wouldn't say that's a plot hole, but the other thing is he's saving Leia, and she's got to be 10 years old.
Yeah, it's 10
So
years.
she's going to
It's
remember
supposed to
him,
be 10.
right? But then at the beginning of A New Hope, she's like, "Help me, Obi Wan Kenobi. You fought for my father in the Clone Wars." But and again, this is nitpicky. Wouldn't she say like, "Do you remember me from this?" Or "You helped me do
Unless,
this?"
You're saying it's a
unless
continuity error?
Obi-Wan used the Force for her to forget when
And
they
that
met
could be
at this
possible
time.
too.
So, Graham, you're saying it's a continuity error?
Yeah. Do any of these little continuity errors or plot holes just kind of add up, or
Not
are
to
people
me.
just
Yes
kind of
and no.
nitpicking that?
You
Yes
will
and
forget that we ever met.
I don't think that that's a plot hole right there, because if I remember right, like, help me, Obi Wan Kenobi, you fought with my father in the Clone Wars. It's like,
Right.
yeah, that doesn't mean that we didn't just meet last week. It's like,
True.
hey, I need your help because, like, dude, you fought with my father in the Clone Wars.
Good
Come
point.
on, I need you for this particular job. Like, to me, that doesn't, just personally, like, that's not a plot hole or continuity error.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree. Joel, has anything stuck out at you that is like maybe made
Not
you?
no until now. Actually, no.
Okay.
But brings here one question is that I don't think we are going to see much of Luke in this Obi-Wan series. I think
Probably not.
we will see more Leia than Luke.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that's
there
fine.
were some people saying that I listened yesterday that this thing of capturing Leia was to get Obi-Wan out, so they could go after Luke. They cannot go after Luke. They cannot go there and destroy everything because it's the same place that you will see him then in the New Hope.
Right.
So nothing can happen to either to Luke, either to the uncle, either to anyone there. That need to stay as it is.
How old was Luke in A New Hope? Do we know the age?
19.
Yeah, 18, 19.
18, 19.
So
Like that.
let's say Obi-Wan is 50. So it'll be 59. So it kind of makes sense around the timeline. I think they picked a good time.
I think he looks pretty old and pretty
No, I
beat
think
up.
he looks
Well,
great
yeah,
too.
but
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the age goes, as far as Star Wars, I mean, he was 19 in A New Hope.
Yes.
The actor was like 25, but in this case,
Other thing that was quite interesting is the first time we see Jawa with a name and with
True.
with subtitles. You can
Yeah.
now you know what they are saying. We can learn Jawa language now.
cleaning is extra.
Javanese.
Yeah.
And there's no Tusken Raiders.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Where are the Tusken? There is not even one.
Yeah, that's surprising. You would think so. It's in the middle of the desert, Tatooine.
Single songwriter says, "I bet Kenobi series ends with Ewan old and looking closer to Alec Guinness. Just a Jedi feeling.
That's what I thought. But
I
They
think
can do it easy.
Maybe like a Ten Commandments thing where he goes on the mountain, comes back, and he's old.
Yeah,
You never know.
I think that how the series is going to end is where we'll see old Ben kind of spying again on Luke. And that's what I think. I think we'll see that last shot. And that goes up to A New Hope and Luke's adventure becoming a Jedi. So
Beskar Kid says, years ago, you served my father in the Clone Wars. She's being formal. Single songwriter says, remember, Luke says to Leia in A New Hope, I'm here with Ben Kenobi. And Leia said, Ben Kenobi, where is he? Implying that she does know him.
That's a good point. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Ben is 57 in A New Hope.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep, and this is a good point too by Blackbird Tech. It's the first time we're getting to see Alderaan in live action. I was actually looking forward to that.
Well, somebody actually pinpointed it. Revenge of Sith was one shot we get to see Leia, baby Leia, with
True.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well,
Bail.
yeah, his father,
With Bail Organa.
Bail Organa and her wife, his wife.
Well, I would like to live there. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Alderaan looks pretty cool.
Very nice. It's very nice.
So what figures are you guys positive that we're gonna get from this series? Joel, I'll start with you.
Inquisitors, Grand Inquisitor, I think you will be there. The fifth sister, right? Played by that Korean.
Oh, the fifth brother,
right?
Yeah, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Riva, I think you will. I think we will have her too. But the thing is that her suit is quite simple compared with the others. Is a very plain suit. I don't know if we are going to see any difference on there. And then of course Obi-Wan. I think they will give us the Obi-Wan from the first or second episode. That's a given. Leia, I'm not sure because I think it's quite difficult to get the rights for children to produce this kind of 1/6 scale figures. I don't think it's that easy.
Which would make sense why we didn't get young Anakin.
True.
Yes.
I don't know if it's that easy, but it would be nice to have a young Leia with Obi-Wan, right?
They have children
And,
figures. Yeah.
and Vader, you already know you will get him. They
Yeah,
already
that's
shows
coming.
on Celebration, but when you see that Anakin in the tank, the last seconds in the second episode, his body is completely deformed,
Right.
and
Oh yeah.
if we could have something like that, maybe it's too gross. I don't know, but I think it would be amazing. Apart from that, there's what do you want? You want to have a drunk trooper at Mura Morrison? You don't want that.
Oh yeah, it's true. Drunk tomorrow Morrison.
Hobo
But
or 501st.
I did like that bounty hunter. He's like a dinosaur. He's eating, and
Oh,
then he sees that thing, and
that
then
was
he
funny.
takes the gun and
Then he gets taken out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact, actually, there's a scene where this girl comes up to Obi-Wan and tells him, "Oh, you forget everything about your daughter."
That's right.
That's
Your
actually
daughter.
Obi-Wan's daughter.
Yep.
yeah.
Insane. Yeah, I was figuring that out today.
And they already found out that I think it's a boy is the one that go to tell the other that guy that is playing as a Jedi. You go to tell him that you let him go, you let him escape, and now everyone is looking for him. He's a boy that has a kind of iPad. He's the one
Yeah.
that takes Obi-Wan to that.
Yeah.
That boy, the name everyone already, the people already saying, because they have people that they read everything of Star Wars, that this boy, the name is actually something in the Star Wars, those books, the Star Wars extended universe or what, that boy is mentioned there, and is some kind of, I don't know, I really don't know, but it's too deep already. I don't go that far, but that boy is mentioned in the Star Wars extended universe.
KG and Desi, any other figures that Joao didn't list that you'd be hoping for? I mean, we pretty much, I guess we.
I know what they want. They want that kind of camel that Obi-Wan rides.
Definitely no. I still want a Tauntaun though, but
That'd be cool.
yeah, no, I think I agree with Joel. The Inquisitors, I would think, the Grand Inquisitor, the Fifth Brother, probably Reva, all those they're very toyetic, and of course an Obi-Wan. We already know we're getting a Vader. I hope that Vader we're going to get, like we said before, is they upgrade him a little bit and it has a removable helmet or battle damage, something.
Yeah.
But, I think Joel mentioned it all.
Would you guys get the Kenobi figure if they come out with a Kenobi that we've seen right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yes. I like that
Without
blue.
lightsaber, anything. Just
Just in his rags. I mean, he did have it the hilt, but
no, maybe with that toy that he offered to Luke, something like that as an accessory.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit difficult to do his hair, because his hair is so thin and he always falling to his face. Right. It's not easy to do that sculpted.
Right.
Let's see.
He will come with like a meat thing, that he
wrapped with
a meat. Wrapped meat.
We call him Hobo Kenobi.
Hobo Kenobi,
yeah.
Exactly. Maybe we'll do him with a Jawa.
Yeah, that's Blackbird Tech said.
Tika, what's the name?
Okay, so do you guys think two things? Do you guys think that we'll get a reissue of the Dark Side Anakin?
That's a great question. I was actually wondering that. I actually just sold mine in anticipation for this series coming out. I sold it while I could. Hey, Joao, don't shake your head.
Like, nope.
I sold it so I could get my DX-13 back. I thought it was a pretty good trade-off.
Which was the DX-13?
The Terminator 2, the battle damage.
Oh.
So
that was a good trade.
It's not like I just sold it to make money. I sold it so I could get one of those figures back, and I did have a little bit of regret. So, but I had it in the back of my mind, if we see any flashbacks, I wonder if they'll reissue that. So KG, that's a great question, because we saw just glimpses of flashbacks, but if we see any more, could we get reissue for that?
Here's the thing. I think we're going to reissue, but we're not going to get that base.
Right.
Same thing with the Nightmare Batman. We didn't get that, base. It's the Justice League base. We'll get a 2-pack with maybe, you know what? It won't be bad. Give us a 2-pack of Obi-Wan and Darkseid Anakin. I think that would be pretty cool, having those reissues.
I would be totally for it because then I could get the figure back at a cheaper price. So I'd
Yeah.
be all for a
Well,
reunion.
it will probably be like a battle damage Obi-Wan because I noticed when I was watching Revenge of the Sith, he does like there's some battle damage scars around his robes, so that could be, you know, a thing for it. But I also think we will from the show. I hope we do get that Vader in the back of the tank. You know, if
Oh, that will be
pretty cool to have.
amazing.
It will be something new, something unique as far as Vader wise. I would love to own one.
Better yet, if you could really use water
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
and
No,
then with some system that the water like a fish tank.
yeah, exactly.
Filtration.
Might as well make it a fish tank. A little fish
No,
for-
That would be a
then
good idea.
if you didn't use water, the body will get deformed and dry, and you just disappear. You would need to have water always there.
This damn figure takes too much maintenance.
Yeah.
And you need to
Oh,
check
man.
the pH of the water every week.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that was a great question, KG. Because I did think about that, and then when I saw it, I was like, oh boy, these flashbacks. But
I hope so, man, because I missed on both Anakin and Obi-Wan.
You got there here a comment from Night Sight 77 is interesting.
one thing I have a hard time believing is that Kenobi hadn't heard about Vader's exploits in the Empire during that 10-year time frame. Vader was infamous after all. I agree. And then somebody said, well, he was really staying, he was living in a cave. He was laying low. He was going to work, and that was it.
And he was not using the Force, so he can't sense anything. And
Right.
he believed that he was dead after that. Like he was burned, he was going to die. And then he didn't know that Palpatine came over. And
So I get what Night Sight is saying. I agree, but I also agree with what KG is saying and kind of what I said too, where he really was disconnected from everything. Desi, do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, yeah, it's like, how's that saying go? It's like, what, have you been living under a rock? And it's like,
Right.
yeah, he has.
Yeah, yep.
Kind of has, yeah.
So he's been completely disconnected. It's not like he has a cell phone and Wi-Fi, despite everything. Yeah, he does, but he never uses it. Like it's just all of a sudden it started beeping because Bale was trying to contact him, and
he gets his
looked like
and everything. Like, oh my!
It's like all the way at the bottom of like the toolbox. Like he hasn't used it in years.
It's like,
oh
yeah, Anakin's alive. Yeah.
Yeah, like in his mind, Anakin was dead, and like the Empire's alive and kicking it, and his job is just to keep a low profile and make sure the Empire doesn't get Luke.
Do you think now he's back using the Force? Do you think he might sense Mace?
If he's alive.
How can he sense a dead person?
No one's really dead.
Yeah. I mean,
the other thing I want to just backtrack and add here is, well, maybe Uncle Owen would have known that Darth Vader's back and would have told Obi-Wan when they're, but I mean, they don't talk a lot, but if he kind of, leave us alone, maybe he would have told him. But the other thing I heard too was the Empire isn't as strong as they are in A New Hope. They haven't made that final push for total domination yet. So maybe Vader isn't quite that I don't want to say popular or well known, or he's just not to that point where there's that total domination of the Empire.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree or disagree with that?
Yeah.
They don't. The Senate still exists.
Right.
Like, and there's no Death Star yet, and there's still a political system there that's not a complete dictatorship, even though it really is. But there's still at least the pretense of a political system of the Senate. So
I think it's you good comment.
Yeah,
Single Songwriter
said it really
already
good.
said it. Everything.
Yeah. Stronger by the Death Star. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think, when you're building an empire like that, it takes many years. So I think after 10 years, they're going to start building the Death Star. Maybe they have. It's a process of building it.
Right.
Maybe it takes place during Rogue One as well, because I think Rogue One kind of started that whole, building the Death Star, and we see that continuation of Vader and A New Hope. So yeah, I think they're slowly but surely building that, and they're going to be well known.
Right.
About Vader presence here, it's interesting because before, when you were talking that everyone just wants to see Vader fighting with Obi-Wan, before the show starts, I heard the interview with the writer of the show, and he was asked. Everyone wants to know how much Vader are we going to see in this Obi-Wan series, and he said, and he was very clear. He said, Vader is not a character that will appear every time. He only appears when he's important and when there is some meaning to it. It's not a character to appear a full episode.
Right.
So I think we are going to see some glimpses of Vader, but not completely about him.
Like sort of like he remembers Padme, those moments, I think, right? He just kind of has flashbacks to those memories. Yeah, makes sense.
Well, either way, I'm excited for the show. I think overall it's been really, really good. I think my favorite part personally was when Kenobi does realize that Vader is alive, and just the shock and the fear on his face, and then obviously that last glimpse of Vader in the back of the tank. So excited for the next episode to drop. Yeah, 2 days to go. But we're going to end the night with a new Hot Toys game called Keep, Trade, Sell. Now, I know we just unveiled this last week, so I'm going to tell you in the chat kind of the rules, and then I'm going to tell you in the panel here as well. So basically, I'm going to, instead of having the verses where we had one figure versus the other, you could keep one and one was not in your collection anymore. Here, you can keep one, you can trade one, and you can be strategic. This is a strategic game. So if you know the value, which I know the value for most of these, you could trade it for something of similar value. Or if there's a different style of that, like if you had to trade a Vader, maybe you could, if Vader was in here, you should trade him for a different Vader or something like that. Right. And then one you would sell just to kind of pocket the money, or maybe you just didn't want it, so you'd sell it for that reason. So that's the game. You guys in the chat as well would love to hear from you on which ones you would keep, trade, and sell. And I'm just going to bring it up here. And because we've talked mostly Star Wars tonight, we're going to start the game with a Star Wars triple threat. And it's a doozy. And it's pretty much figures we've been talking about. So let me just get rid of my banner here. All right. So guys, keep, trade, and sell. Which one would you keep? Which one would you trade, and which one would you sell? We'll go down the line. Joao, you get to go first.
Keep Obi-Wan, trade Anakin, sell Darth Vader.
Sell Darth Vader. That was pretty quick. Yeah. Pretty easy for you?
Yeah, it was easy. It was an easy one.
And would you keep Obi-Wan just because that's like your favorite character of the three that you just want to have in your collection?
Because I think we will see a new Anakin.
Okay.
A reissue. I don't think we are going to see other Obi-Wan. At least this one, I think we are going to see only the from the new show, and the Vader, because I want to get the one from the Obi-Wan show too.
All right, Desi, you're up. Do you own all three of these?
What Vader is that?
That's the Rogue One Vader. Sorry.
No, I don't own the Rogue One Vader. I own the ESP Vader, but I own the other two.
Okay.
So I will keep Darkside Anakin because he's one of my favorite Hot Toys, one of my favorite 3 Hot Toys. So I have to keep him, even if they will reissue him in the future. So Obi-Wan's one of my favorites too, but I'll have to trade him because I'm keeping Anakin. So I will trade Obi-Wan because he has a pretty good value. So maybe I don't know what's the value of episode 4 Obi-Wan.
This one now is going at 650, 700. This one.
And episode 4 is going for about the same. I've seen him going for 650, 700 as well.
So I'll try to trade him for episode 4 Obi-Wan. And then I'd sell Darth Vader.
That's a good one.
And there's a reason why his value is going up and up and up with this new series coming out as well. So, KG, how about you?
I don't want to play this game because it's literally trade and sells like you're just getting rid of the figure anyway. It's
right.
Just like, okay.
Let us know what you would trade it for if you have something in mind.
Okay, keep Darkside Anakin because I love Anakin. Maybe trade Obi-Wan because I kind of like the New Hope version of Obi-Wan, and then sell Darth Vader because we got a lot of Darth Vaders and we got the new one coming out. So yeah, there you go. I hate this game. So I kind of
before I had this already done before the weekend, so I kind of had this planned out, but it's kind of changing now. I was going to keep the Rogue One Vader, but you guys bring up a good point. If we're getting a reissue, then we can just get that one. Plus, you do have Empire Strikes Back, which is a great figure as well. Even a New Hope one is a good figure. But I'm just gonna go with my original just because it's not real life. So I'm gonna keep the Rogue One Vader just because that's one of the most favorite figures in my collection. Huge Darth Vader fan. I think this is a great looking Vader. It's very menacing. I would trade the Obi-Wan because I think I could get the value to get the A New Hope Obi-Wan. Although I really do like this figure, and I do have it as well, and I've had all three. And then I would sell the Dark Side Anakin and cash out and just hope that they reissue it so I can get it later on.
Well, I mean, you already sold Anakin, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
So yeah, let's move it on. Well, let's see what you guys said in the chat first here. Joe said that he would sell Anakin, trade Vader, and keep Obi-Wan. I think that's a pretty solid decision.
Same as me. No, no.
Keep DS, Annie, Dark Side Annie, trade Obi, and sell Vader. I would assume a lot of people would sell Vader just because you can get other ones or trade them. So I realize I'm probably in the minority there. Single Songwriter says he would trade Vader, sell Kenobi because we're getting another, and keep Darkside Anakin because we won't get another for years. And Jable said that he would keep Obi-Wan, trade Anakin, and sell Vader. So yeah, I'm definitely in the minority here, but that's okay. That's what makes the game fun. All right, let's go to more of like the one-offs. So here we have Marty McFly. This is I guess you'd call it the 2.0 from Back to the Future. We have the Crow figure, which is an oldie but a goodie. And then we have the John Wick figure, which comes with a ton of accessories, and that's a fun movie. Do any of you guys own any of these figures?
No.
I own Marty McFly.
Desi, what did you say?
John Wick, I have that one.
John Wick. That's another one that I got back that I regretted selling. So, and I do have Marty. I have owned the Crow. Something you guys should know. You can probably see it with your eyes. There's a lot of pleather on this Crow figure.
The belt have problems, pants have problems, coat have problems.
Yeah. So keep that in mind, I guess. And then Marty is probably the newest of the three, so that one's still in stock at Sideshow. But Jaw, you are up. So what would your decisions be here?
I would keep Marty. I would sell the Crow, Eric Draven, because of the problems that he has. And I would trade John Wick.
John Wick. Anything that you would try to trade him for? He's going for $350, $400 on the secondhand market.
John Wick, I would trade him for that price. There's nothing I can trade. That's too low for what I want.
Well, you trade him for something, anyways. All right.
I would add a bit more, and I would trade him for the what's the name? From the Pirates of Caribbean, not Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow, no. The octopus. Yeah.
Oh, I think he's going for insane prices. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But I think he's got to be like, I thought I saw him going for like $1,000.
Yeah, he's around 800 a year. But I really need to get him.
Yeah, and from what I've seen, just extremely rare. Like that would be
Jack Sparrow needs someone near him.
Right. How about you, Desi?
I think I'll keep my John Wick figure. It's I actually won him from Sideshow, but I love the movie.
Davy Jones.
There you go.
Yes.
Love the movie. Love the accessory. Love all the firearms he comes with, and so I'll keep him. I'd probably trade Eric Draven, although I love that movie. It's like, do we know how much he goes for? But I'd trade him for something equivalent, probably in the Star Wars realm.
Again, probably $350 to $400.
Yeah, I'll try to trade him for something in the Star Wars realm that I've missed, and then probably sell Marty. I like Back to the Future, but out of all the movies, I was never a huge Back to the Future fan. So, yeah,
that's a good good decision there. How about you, KG?
For me, it's keep John Wick. Sell. I love the film. I recently just watched. It's a great film, The Crow. I would sell The Crow and trade for Marty.
I love all of these films. Well, specifically John Wick, the first one, but I mean John Wick 2 is really good too. But Back to the Future is such a classic. Came out in a great year, 1985, year I was born. The Crow has always been one of my favorite movies. KG, have you seen The Crow?
I have seen it. I've
Thank
seen
the
it.
Lord.
It's really good.
The Crow is a very good movie,
I
but
think they're
a
gonna
bit heavy. A bit heavy.
they're gonna remake it, right? With
Sideshow's making it.
no, like they're
No.
gonna redo.
The
Oh
movie?
yeah,
I hope
did that
not.
get canceled? I know they were gonna have Jason Momoa.
Yeah, it's been stuck in reboot hell for like I don't know.
I think
you know.
didn't they find a guy that Pennywise guy is playing him? The Bill Skarsgård.
I'll believe it when it comes out.
Yeah.
At this point, they've been talking about remaking it for like 12 years or 15 years.
Yeah, and then
So-
the sequels they made after the original didn't help. That
Yeah.
just really hurt the franchise. So, but I guess you could say that with a lot of different franchises: Terminator, Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna keep John Wick because I sold him once before and I regretted it.
Yeah.
I've actually customized the beard on my old figure, and then I did it again when I got the new one. I took acrylic paint and I painted in the beard to look more like the John Wick, where it's that hard line and it goes down here. Because I thought it was just too. This one even looks darker than it really is on the figure. It's just too faded.
Yeah.
So I did kind of make a harder line there. I'm gonna. I guess I would sell Back to the Future Marty, even though I just in real life got that figure and I haven't even unboxed him yet. And while I do love the movie, I mean I waited this long to get him, so I figure I could sell him. And then I would trade the Crow figure away. As much as I loved that movie and I did love having that figure, the pleather is just too much. I've seen so many of those figures just peeling and deteriorating really quickly. So I'd probably try to trade him towards maybe getting Back to the Future. I don't know. I was going to say Back to the Future 2 Marty, but I'd rather have the first one. So I don't know, but I would trade the Crow figure just to not have that headache. Have you guys seen the Sideshow one that's coming out later this year?
Yeah, it looks all right. Like it doesn't look as good as this one.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Right. I did have it pre-ordered and then I canceled it, so I don't know. That was back in the days of pre-ordering. Joe says that he would sell the Crow, trade Wick, and keep Marty. That's a good one too. I mean, Marty is a great iconic character as well.
Yeah.
Blackbird Tech says keep the Crow, trade John Wick, and sell Marty. Interesting. And honestly, if we didn't have to worry about the pleather, my decision might be different. Like I would probably keep the Crow figure if I didn't have to worry about pleather.
But that's a high risk to take. Not only the Crow, but there's other figure that I'm scouting for long and I can get it, but I will not. It's the Edward Caesar heads. The one played by Johnny Depp. Because
is that Hot
one,
Toys?
Is that yes, it's Hot Toys.
Wow.
That is MMS 81, I think, or something like that. It's an old figure, but also the same problem with the pleather.
That's too bad. Keep the Crow, never coming back. That's a great reason to keep him. Trade Marty, sell John Wick because new John Wick movie coming. That is coming next year finally, John Wick 4. So, man, I remember seeing that movie for the first time. What buddy of mine told me I needed to watch it. I'm like, oh gosh. I'm like another shooter movie and Keanu Reeves is washed. I'm like, whatever.
The first one is amazing.
Yeah, and I watched. I'm just like, this is a great movie.
It's a good movie.
It is.
Jables would keep John Wick, trade the Crow, and sell Marty. The ghost of Brandon Lee lives inside the Crow movie, and a remake will never be successful. Man, what a shame that was. Just heartbreaking.
It sucks.
Blackbird Tech says Marty and John Wick are two of my favorite one-offs in my collection. I wish Hot Toys would give us more one-offs. We pretty much get, what, one or two a year?
Yeah, I think we'll get something from John Wick 4. I think they're going to do the John Wick figure.
Yeah, and there's so much other stuff they could do. They could do Die Hard.
Die Hard, and there's a lot of stuff they could do.
I mean, off the top of my head, I guess I can't think of it, but like, I don't know, because
if they did 7, the Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt.
That'd be cool.
I mean, I wouldn't call Marty a one-off. Like they've done him before, they did him again. They have Doc. They're doing it from the third movie. Like they did.
Orion.
Like that's not a one-off to me, but
Right.
subjective, you know.
Right.
But
I guess to me, I just think outside the line of Marvel, Star Wars, and DC.
Star Wars. Yeah.
yeah,
Anything outside of that, it's just hard to come by.
They are doing that Keanu Reeves, the cyberpunk.
That's a one-off. Yeah, that's
Definitely one off. Yeah.
All right, let's finish up here with going with some girl power here, and we do have a DC, a Marvel, and a Star Wars figure.
Oh,
so we have Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So this is the newer one, and then Hoth Leia, which is probably close to Grail status as well. So Joao, take it away.
This is Gamora is to sell. The Harley Quinn, I would trade because in fact in real life I did sold this Harley and I regret till this day. It's one of the few toys that I ever sell, and I would keep Leia.
Okay,
but Gamora would sell.
And you said you would trade Harley?
Yeah, I
Even
would
though you
trade.
regret it?
No, I didn't trade. I sold, and I regret it. Yeah, because I have the other 3 Harleys.
Okay, and again, I think I could see people selling this one just because there are substitutes. So that's totally
but the head
understandable.
sculpt is very good. This one, really.
How about you, Desi?
I think I would definitely keep Leia. I don't have any of these, by the way, but I would keep Leia because that's one I regret missing out on. I'd probably trade Gamora, and I'd sell Visible Joints over there. Because no,
you cannot. I'm telling you, this photo it's bad. You cannot see the joints on her. It's difficult to see. The only thing that I didn't like about the figure, as much as I love the head sculpt, is that I got tired of seeing her with the mouth open always. And I said, and at that moment, she was going for a very high price, and I said, oh, let me get rid of her. Maybe I will get other Harley. And as much as I complain about the new Harleys, I got them both. And with the joints, but the joints, they are not as annoying as you see in the promo photos. You can do some posing and you can either beat the joints.
That's cool. I mean, the figure looks great. The figure does look good. It's just those knees, like at least in this picture, you know. You
can do it better. Hot Toys can do better than that.
Yeah.
Come on, Hot Toys. How about you, KG?
For me, the Leia that I've always wanted the most was the Empire Strikes Back Leia, the Hoth Leia. So definitely a keep for Leia. Sell Gamora and trade for Harley.
Interesting. The Leia, if I could pick one, it hasn't been made, but I've seen people kit bash this Hoth Leia into Cloud City Leia, where you use the Bespin head sculpt, but then you just still have to remove the boots. But man, I really wish Hot Toys would do that Leia. I've tried to get this one as well. I do own the Harley and then the Gamora, but I haven't been able to get my hands on the Leia.
The problem with this Leia is that even if you get it, if it's new, sealed, there are lots of problems with the white. The white it's starting to yellowing with the time.
Maybe Desi has something up his sleeve that he could do to fix that.
Nothing really, other than bleaching it.
Yeah.
So for me, I would keep Harley because, again, she's just one of my favorite figures. I think there's just so much personality, so much character in that figure itself. Movie wasn't great, but I thought she played it awesome. Big Margot Robbie fan. As much as I love Gamora and my girls love Gamora, I'd probably trade that one and just get something. Obviously, her price isn't too high, so I'd probably just get something that's kind of maybe in stock somewhere, or, whatever. And then I'd probably sell Leia and cash in. And, I'm happy with the Return of the Jedi Leia. So as much as I would want this one, I would probably sell her. So, let's see what you guys said here. Keep Leia, trade Harley, and sell Gamora. Man, we got a lot of Star Wars fans. Keep Leia, Future Grail. Yeah. Sell Gamora, trade Harley for any stormtrooper except First Order. Easy. Keep Leia, trade Harley, sell Gamora. And keep Harley, trade Leia, sell Gamora reluctantly. Yeah. And again, a lot of these figures are great. So reluctantly, we are selling and trading. But that's just part of the game. So it had to be done, as hard as it was. Guys, this was a fun show. I'm glad that you were able to join me tonight. Talk a lot about Star Wars, and just hang out. So, Joel, what do you got going on your channel?
And my channel, just yesterday, I put on the review on the Immortan Joe from the Mad Max. And today I'm going to review the classic Loki from So Toys. I think it's already downstairs to pick up. And the Flashpoint, the Flash, yeah, should arrive today, this afternoon as well. That's about it. Some reviews coming up. And thank you for having me. It was really fun to talk a bit more about Obi Wan and Star Wars, because tomorrow, for you guys, it's midnight, right? If you are in Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
It's midnight.
I think it's
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Yeah.
So it's amazing for me because it's 3 p.m. here. It's a good time for me to watch it. But I cannot watch at that hour because you can see how famous it is. Last week, Disney Plus crashed here. The server, you could not. They would say we have problems with the streaming issues. Please try again later. So you can imagine how many people was trying to watch that show.
That's crazy,
man. Well, thank you again, sir, for coming in. And before we get to KG, just want to remind you guys to make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe to my friends' channels as well. They do a lot of great content, and yeah, I have all of their links to their IG as well as their YouTube channels down in the description below. So just go visit them and subscribe. KG, thank you again as always for being on the show. I love getting your opinion on things because there is a little bit of an age difference. So,
yeah,
some of us think differently, and I like kind of where your head is at with some of this stuff because I think differently. So I like to hear the other
he thinks
side.
Younger than us,
right?
Right.
What I do like though is that he grew up with the Nolan trilogy, so that's
I
pretty
grew
awesome.
up with those. I just received my DX19 a couple of days ago, and that's an amazing figure. Also with my 2-pack Boba Fett, both great figures. I'm glad I have them. Yeah, on my channel, so me, Riley, and I, we have Wonder Twins episode happening this Friday. I believe it's on my channel, so definitely stay tuned for that. I do have a collection tour coming soon. Part 1 of the collection tour, and then part 2 will be later next month. And yeah, so that's basically it for my channel. It's just subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Desi, Big Breda, do a nice watch. I'll subscribe to my other half, the Wonder Twin, Riley Reviews on YouTube. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming. Desi, I know you've been busy doing crafts and making stuff. What's been going on your side of the world there?
Well, more of the same. First of all, Graham, thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun here, so thank you again so much. Guys, don't forget, like KG just said, subscribe to everybody here. Great content going on. And on my channel, we mentioned it before, I just dropped the CCFL tutorial for those lightsabers. Check it out. And then I'm working on some more dioramas. It'll be a bit before my next tutorial video is up because I got to finish the diorama first. But until then, feel free to check out the content, the diorama tutorials that are already available on the channel. And hope you guys enjoy it.
Well, I got to say too, just thank you for sharing that knowledge with the community, because I know a lot of people in your position would maybe want to keep that to themselves, or especially if you're doing commission work, why would you want to tell everybody how to do it? But I even still think with you doing that, I think people just appreciate it more, and maybe some people try to do it, but I still think you just have such a gift that if I did it, it'd still look different than if you did it. So I just appreciate all of the knowledge that you're doing on your channel. So thank you.
Yeah. I don't, of course, anytime. I don't mind giving away, the techniques. It still takes practice, right? And that's what I encourage people to do, to just practice. And no, I still get requests for commissions, even though I put this stuff out there. Because some people just,
Right. It's
You know,
easier that way too.
there's plenty of channels on YouTube about how to change your car's brake pads, right? And mechanics still exists.
That's true.
I hope we have some ambassadors of politics looking at these videos and they see your video, be like, we gotta do better with our bases because this guy is just nailing every single thing.
Yeah,
These videos.
amazing.
Thank you, KG. I hope so.
Yeah.
But it's true. You can explain to us how to do it, but you need to have like a gift. You need to have a technique into it. It's like the same when you see your recipes on YouTube. It's easy, but when you cook, then it tastes like rubbish. So even you use the same things and you use the same time and you control everything, but then no, this doesn't taste like it should. So it takes practice, and
and just that artistic gift that not everybody even has. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
Well, another one in the books. Appreciate all of you in the chat for watching the show, for supporting the channel. Appreciate all of you gentlemen for taking the time to be on the show as well. As always, it was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for all of us. And until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.
See you, everybody.
Later, guys.